Yo, I'm so excited to share the verse of the day with you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I believe this is going to speak to you, and this is for someone specific that just needs a word. I believe it so strongly that only Jesus can satisfy you. It's in John 4:4. The context is Jesus and the woman at the well. Jesus was tired, sitting at a well, tired from a journey, and a Samaritan woman comes to the well to draw water. Now, this is a big deal because Jesus is a Jew. This woman is a Samaritan woman. Jews and Samaritans do not get along. Jews and Samaritans do not mix. Back then, it was completely inappropriate for them to even have anything to do with each other. But Jesus usually breaks down and tears down those racial norms or those cultural borders. Jesus always tears that down for the sake of love. And we pick up this story right here. It says, Jesus, tired from a long walk, sat wearily by the well at noontime. Soon a Samaritan woman came to him to draw water, and Jesus said to her, "Please give me a drink." She was alone at the time because his disciples had gone to get food. This woman, surprised, and said, "You are a Jew, and I'm a Samaritan woman. Why are you asking me for a drink? If you knew the gift God has for you, you would ask me and I would give you living water." Come on, somebody. "But sir, you don't have a rope or a bucket," she said, "and this well is very deep. Where would you get this living water?" She's still not catching what Jesus is saying. "And besides, are you greater than our ancestors Jacob, who gave us this well?" Jesus replied, "Anyone who drinks this water will soon become thirsty again. But those who drink the water that I give will never be thirsty again. It becomes a fresh, bubbling spring within them, giving them eternal life." I could imagine this woman looking up at Jesus, going like, oh my goodness. I'm sure she could feel the Spirit of God. I'm sure she could feel the desperation of like, oh my God, he understands the longing, the searching that I found in my heart. Jesus wasn't talking about actual water. Jesus was talking about satisfying her soul and her spirit. See, it also goes on, the verse is very long, but it goes on to say that this woman had 5 husbands. She went from man to man to man to fulfill her. Another thing, she was at the well at noontime. What's significant about that, Dave? Well, back then, women were in charge of getting water for their communities. So they would, and back then it was crazy hot. So they would either go in the cool of the morning or in the cool of the night. That's when all the women would go gather there. It was kind of like a social thing. This woman was there in the middle of the day. What does that tell you? It tells you that she was an outcast. It tells you that she was someone that was separated from probably community in general. So she was someone who was secluded, looking for things to fulfill her. And she looked up at Jesus and said, "Please, sir, give me this